Hi, today we are going to talk about culturally responsive teaching and how we can better support English learners within our school academically and socially and emotionally. I recently read an article where the author was reflecting on a phrase that she had seen online, and she wished she could tell herself the same thing during her first year of teaching, and this phrase was to learn them first. That line stuck with me because it's a powerful reminder that before we teach students content, we must learn who our students are. This includes their identities, their values, their traditions, experiences they've gone through. Research reminds us that cultural competence is essential. Cultural competence is the skills, knowledge, and awareness needed to teach students effectively who come from different cultures than the ones that we do on our own. So in today's classrooms, this is more important than it ever has been because we see students bringing a mix of cultures, beliefs, languages, perspectives, experiences, and traditions into our classrooms. So understanding that these things influence our students and understanding them personally will allow us to teach in a more responsive way and to prevent misunderstanding our students, because that can lead to inequitable outcomes in our classroom. Culture shapes how students learn and how they communicate and how they engage in school. It affects comfort levels with group work, sometimes authority figures or eye contact. It can affect the way they participate or the frequency that they participate at. And when schools or teachers ignore these differences or allow others to ignore these differences, students may feel like they have to choose between their identity and their success. But our goal as teachers should be to allow them to have both. So an inclusive environment supports English acquisition by making students feel safe to take risks with their language. So this would look like providing things for them such as visuals or sentence stems, giving them opportunities for conversation with structure and guidance, providing text and materials that represents and incorporates their culture, or even just acknowledging the fact that there are multiple perspectives within our classroom. And these things all will improve confidence. And when we normalize that mistakes happen and celebrate the small successes and highlight growth that happens within our students, our EL students will feel confident enough to participate and practice more increasingly. So cultural responsiveness isn't just a thing that we do once a year or that we celebrate for a week or anything like that. It should be part of every day in our classroom. And so we can do this by some of the things I said before, as well as in a way to celebrate their culture will look like using literature and texts that reflect multiple different cultures and inviting students to share about their culture. So we won't make students do this, we'll allow them to do it voluntarily and we'll respect what they have to say, but open a space for them to share parts of who they are and where they come from. Creating assignments that allow them to make connections to their personal life and to their personal culture, and then encouraging resources that provide bilingual options for students to use at home and at school, like dictionaries, word walls, even partner work if you have that opportunity within your classroom. We want to teach our students that their home language is a strength and not something that holds them back. Research even consistently shows that strong first language skills can help students to learn English more efficiently. And that's something we can share with our students so they know that it's a strength that they possess. English learners vary widely and have very different proficiency levels within our classrooms. So this could depend on their prior schooling, their interests, maybe learning disabilities. So cultural responsiveness within the classroom looks like offering a wide range of supports to help them succeed. So it's essential that we address the emotional needs of ELs as well, not just their academics, because many of them are navigating complex and hard things at a young age. even outside of the classroom and their academics. It may just be that they're in a new routine or they're in a new home. They may be in a new country. They may be constantly moving around. So sometimes their predictability, their patience is low, and it's our job to build relationship with EL so that they feel seen and valued within our classroom. It'll boost engagement, and that ultimately will be what allows us to teach our students what they need to learn. When we build routines, it's important to know our students' cultural backgrounds because it prevents us from misinterpreting them as a whole. So some students may avoid eye contact because that's a respect thing from their culture, but for us, eye contact is respectful. For them, it's disrespectful to authority, so we may think that they're being disrespectful because we misinterpreted, because we didn't understand their cultural background. Other things like hesitating to speak up unless called on, and so it's important that we are aware of those differences so that we can honor them instead of punish them. And then lastly, just with home and school connections, it's very important for language access. So there's a lot of legal rights that families have to information in total, and they have the right to information in their home language. So schools can use interpreters or translators or even like apps to improve communication, and they should change, not replace these things for discussions. So I just want to emphasize that culturally responsive teaching is not a checklist, but it's a mindset, and I think that that's an important stance we can take as we move forward and dedicate ourselves to helping our students grow.